Turanga FM Parakuihi Show online with Matai and Rahia. Tomo mai, e wera te kai.
Iwa te kaumatahi ira whitu ki te iarere, iwa te kaumatahi ira whitu ki te ipurangi. Turanga FM Parakuihi Show is on air and online with Matai and Rahia. Morena heka mā, ko te toru te kau o pipiri tēnei, ngā mihi nui kia koutou.
Ko Matai Smith ia, ko Rahia tumutumu ahau, kia ora I tēnei ata mātau rawatu.
Koe nei oe mau koti ana.
Ahau hoki.
Yeah. Now, much like her arms, we had a big week last week.
Good that you said arms and not something else.
Okay.
We attended the Lion King Reo Māori premiere and Te Ao Mangia fell asleep halfway through the film.
Oh, I au tana moe.
Yeah, I tino yeah.
We attended the special Matariki celebrations with Professor Dr. Rangima Tāmua.
That was a very historical day because it was the first time Matariki was celebrated as a public holiday.
And also, recently, the British High Commissioner to New Zealand, Laura Clarke, visited Turanga Kiwa. She came back, revisited. And our very own Rahia Timutumu had a chat with her.
It was really nice talking to her. She revealed that she'll be moving on to other mahi soon.
Ka mutu kei te hoki ia ki tōna ukaipo.
Yeah, me tana whānau.
We'll get to that story soon, but for now, here's Rahia, moving to her other mahi as our Kaitimo News reporter. E haere ake nei ko ngā pūrongo o te wā.
Tai oro, ngā tai pito pito o te tai rāwhiti.
Morena I te iwi kua whakaritia tētahi rūma tutu I ngā momo aronga katoa o te tamaiti ki te kōhanga reo o te whakaruru hau. He wāhi tēnei ki te whakamahi I ngā momo rongo katoa a ihu ko te pā ki te tinana, ko te kite, ko te rongo anō hoki. He mea tēnei hei tautoko I ngā tamariki hauā. Anō nā tata nei ki te ai ngā tāngata waru te kaumā waru hou I pāngia I te mate kōwhiori. Koe nei te nama nui rawa atu kua kitea ki konei ki te tai rāwhiti nei I ngā wiki ruarua kua taha ake. Ko te āki kia kaha tātou ki te whai I te rongoa mō te mate nei, kia kaua e kitea te ngaru tuarua o te kōwhiori ki konei ki te tai rāwhiti. A kāti, koe rā ngā kaitimua Parakuihi ko Rahia tumutumu hau atamari e.
Parakuihi tahi kia Matai rawa ko Rahia. 91.7 on air and online.
Tēnā koe Rahia.
Kia ora. Recently, the British High Commissioner to Aotearoa Laura Clarke returned to Turanga Kiwa to reinforce relationships forged during the Tuia 250 commemorations before she returned to the UK.
Now, the last time she was here back in 2019, she made an official expression of regret for the treatment of Māori at the time of the arrival of Cook.
And here is my catch up with her at a very significant place in Turanga Kiwa. Ana kei mua tātou I tēnei tohu nui whakaharahara e titiro ana ki Turanga Nui a Kiwa, kei takutaha inai nei ko tētahi o ngā māngai mō te komihana o Peritana Nui ko Laura Clarke. Thank you so much for joining us.
Kia ora, tēnā koe.
So yeah, your position, you're nearly to the end of your position. You've been in that for 3.5 years. How's it been? 4.5 years, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We leave in a couple of weeks. It's been the most amazing 4.5 years, actually, both for me and the whānau, to spend this time in New Zealand, and particularly the connections that we've built in this place as well.
Speaking of this place in particular was probably, would you say, one of the most poignant moments in your career, in your stand?
Absolutely. It was the most meaningful thing I've done in my time here, probably even in my career as well, you know, in that building those connections that we have with the Turanga iwi here and with Ngāti Oni, and working together to acknowledge the past, but also build really strong relationships going forward.
I remember watching it from Auckland because, you know, I wasn't lucky enough to be living in Gisborne back then, but I remember watching it from Auckland, and when you did stand, a lot of people were brought to tears by what you said and just the importance it kind of brought. Can you kind of remember, you know, 2 years ago in 2019 and the feelings here?
No, I remember it so clearly, and being back here brings it all back actually. And it was really meaningful because it's about acknowledging, you know, what the historic wrongs that have happened and saying, you know, we can't change them, but we can learn from them, we can acknowledge them, and then we can move forward with greater confidence. And it was an emotional moment, and it was, you know, I think partly because we'd worked very closely together in preparing for it. You know, the British High Commission, all my team, and the iwi here, to make sure that what we did, you know, met everyone's needs, was sort of sensitive to the various, you know, sensitivities on each side. So yeah, it was quite a moment. And then this is my 5th time here in Tairāwhiti, Gisborne. So I've kept coming back, you know, keeping those connections strong, you know, talking about a whole range of other issues, including our trade agenda, including what we do on Te Taio, climate issues, and also the cultural connections between our countries.
Have you enjoyed your time here in New Zealand?
Oh, it's been wonderful. It really has. And, you know, I'm so lucky because I'm married to a Kiwi. So, you know, my kids have had that opportunity to become proper Kiwis themselves. And I think even though we're going back to the UK, we're going back home to the UK, this feels like home now too as well. And that's wonderful. And we will always have that connection.
Laura, thank you for your contribution. I know that you are well respected here, not only in Turanga Nui a Kiwa, but also New Zealand, and haere pai atu, hoki atu ki te kāinga, travel well back home.
Kia ora, thanks so much.
It was a lovely interview, Rahia.
Thank you.
Ka pai koe.
It was a little bit of a hike up there though.
Oh, yeah.
Had me old boots on. Anyway, coming up next week, I pop into Gisborne Girls High School for a school chess tournament.
Tō kura o mua, tērā ne.
Yep.
Now, I believe some of the kids that are here travelled more than 3 hours just to practice.
Yep, it's a regular thing for these kids. Despite living in a small town up the coast, they make their way here more than the sun has been lately.
E mea ana koe. E mea ana koe. Hoi ro, tērā kaupapa āpopo. But for now,
Hey kona!
You know, I wake up in the mornings and I just want to stay in bed.
Yeah,
I don't
you
wanna
too,
get it. Well, I do.
Parakuihi tahi kia Matai raua ko Rahia, 91.7 on air and online. Ko te reo, te take.